Hello everyone, it's Melinda, and I'm here bringing you our second sketch in our collaboration with Eileen and myself. I will link everything below. This is Page Maps, January releases, and this is the sketch we're going to use today. And today I am planning on flipping it this way based on my large photo and the way the eyes are looking. And I'm going to go with two larger photos but square than what's here. So I'm going to have 3 photos instead of 4. And I've went through my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit that I pulled together, and I've decided that I can use some of the papers out of this. And right now, these are the papers that I have decided to use. That could change based on what things look like when I put them together. I had this little hello flare badge that I think I might want to use. And these letters that came with this Felicity Jane kit that I'm using are these vellum large letters. And I thought I might try those, but we'll see how they look when I get everything together. With that, I'm going to stick you on fast forward so you can watch this happen. We're going to start by trimming the photos down. I had to trim all the white off because the large photo is 4 inches wide, so I didn't leave any white border around it. And the square photos, I just trimmed them all around because I'm going to back them with white cardstock so they all kind of look alike. I'm going to keep laying this out kind of how I want the photos to lay and then lay each layer on. That is a Project Life journaling card. I'm liking this lighter background paper for the center with the little bitty crosses on it. And I just kind of laid it on there to figure out how wide I want it to be. No measuring. I'm going to use this as the stripe, the little strips. But I want the stripes to go this way, and I decided I wanted a ripped edge instead of a cut edge. So I'm just going to lay my ruler on the 1-inch mark and rip it, flip it over, and do it the same thing so that I have one edge that's straight and one edge that's ripped. I like striped paper ripped like this so that just little bits of stripes show. Now, with only having the 2 photos, I've noticed that the balance is a little bit off, and I'm struggling with that a bit. I'll fix it. I just punched a large 3.5-inch circle, and as soon as I laid that on there, I realized that the letters were too big. So I'm going to go with these pink paisley, I believe, letters. They're really old. And I have enough to make this word and a few others, but they're in my How to Kill a Kit with Style so that I can try to use them up. I thought about putting her middle name on there in yellow, but I didn't like how the yellow looked with it. So we're just going to go with the dog's name of Mila. And I'm going to back the photos with scrap white cardstock just laying on my desk. And I'm going to cut it with scissors just for speed. It's not perfect, and I'm okay with that. These ended up not being completely square because when I trimmed them, I trimmed the one a little bit too much. So they're slightly rectangle, but it'll be okay. I'm going to cut the manufacturer's strip off and start laying all this together. I realized right away that the cardstock and the paper are a little bit different sized in width. So I'm going to line them up on one side and trim later. We're going to stick these down, and then I remember that I want to put a scalloped border on the top. So I'm going to get that vellum that's in that kit and one of my EK Success border punches and just punch it. Vellum doesn't punch all the greatest. So I'm going to have some little dangly pieces that I have to trim off. And that's okay with me. Imperfect is wonderful. These layouts with these page maps are a little bit outside of my normal style, but with my busy schedule, I found that I'm okay with it. I went ahead and stitched a line on both the top and the bottom and around this circle just to give it some texture. I keep laying everything back on here just so I can make sure everything's fitting. I'm going to decide that I want to do a little ink splattering, and I'm going to bring my palette out that I've got all of my ink sprayed onto. I'm going to go with GDB Blue, and I can't think of who that's by at the moment. But I'm just going to sprinkle it. Got to wait for it to dry. Just a smidge. While it's drying, I'm gonna cut a tab. These tabs, I bought this because it was a smaller tab punch. I just don't like it. I don't understand how it works. It just seems backwards to me. It folds at the large part instead of the small part. I don't know. It's just uncomfortable. I probably just need to get rid of it because every time I punch it, I ended up not using it. I'm going to pop up the center photo with Fun Foam. Put those letters back again. I decide that the sprinkles need some sequins, and I have some Spiegel Mom little mixes here. And this one has red hearts in it, and I don't want the red hearts, but I like the minty aqua color, so I'm going to pull some of those out and put all the hearts back. That tab is really driving me nuts. I didn't like it on the bottom, so I thought I'd put it on the side, and I didn't like it there. So I'm going to start putting this down because I want to put the letters down, but I need to know where the letters can sit. So I'm not going to tape down the journaling card because it's kind of lumpy underneath to write on. Just going to use my wet glue and put 2 of the letters right on the photo and go across. Ends up being a smidge crooked, but it's all good. I sped this up a lot. Just going to stick all these little things down with a little dab of glue. Had too many, so I put them back. I drew out where the pictures would cover the journaling lightly, and I'm just going to journal, what a cutie. Mila came into our lives when Caitlin got her for Christmas from her family. She's a cuddly little ball of energy with a spunky attitude. She gives the whims a bit of sass. And as always, I write everything out in pencil, go over it with a journaling marker, and then erase it. I'm going to commit to this and stick it down. Now the center photo is a little squirrely because it's only taped down at the top. I realize I used wet glue to put that flare badge down, and it's really not sticking. So I'm going to get a glue dot after I wipe all the wet glue off. And I went ahead with my McGill punch and punched a new tab and just put the year on it. I'm going to trim the edge off. And something's bothering me. the circle lines up with the edge of the journaling card, and it just, to me, seems it's heavy on one side. So I'm going to try to fix it. I think if I move the journaling card over, well, I can't because of the way I've journaled. So I'm trying to figure out, what do I do? So I'm going to go to my Maggie Holmes Carnival stuff that I had in my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit I put together. And I think a bow would work, but it's black and I need to pull more black in. So I start digging. And then I find this camera. The light pink goes very well with the striped paper. So then I nix the bow, but then I need to add something more. I toy with that's way too big. Color works, but it's way too big. And what it says didn't make sense. I like this heart, but where do I put it? It says filled with love. I try it up there, and I realize that's the part that is already too big. I need it to spread out. So it's going to live there. I think maybe I needed something more. Nope. I'm going to play with some stuff. I sped this up a little bit more because it took me a while to figure it out. I realize I think I need more to that heart. The heart just looks lonely over there. But I'm going to pop up the camera and stick it right here. That kind of takes the place of that third photo, so it adds more width to it. And that made me happy. So I'm going to try another heart. That heart is not bad, but the blue is off. But you know what? I like that striped button right in the center. I'm going to grab a light pink heart. I'm going to staple them together. Pop that up on Fun Foam. And then I have a dilemma. I have a lot of black. The photos, the dog's got black in it. Caitlin's got a black coat on, so it's a little dark down. So I think I might need to add some more light around the photo. Don't like that. So how about I spread the black, a little bit of black at the top and a little bit of black in the sprinkles. I have another Spiegel Mom Scraps little sequins set here, and it has some black and silvery color in it. And some of the sequins has little polka dot, black with white polka dots, which I thought was cute. So I just add a little bit more black, and that seems to settle my need to spread the black around. Now I slowed this down to real time. I'm going to show you the sketch next to this after I tidy up just a smidge. Here is the sketch, and here's my interpretation of it. Just to give you slow close-ups, you can see the stitching lines and the splatter and little staples, and little twinkly sequins, and that adorable dog. And with that, thank you for watching. Here are some close-ups, and I will link Eileen's page below and also a page map.